Hola amigos, mi nombre es Martín Poblete y estas son las cápsulas de armónica con Martín Armonica. Hoy estoy súper contento porque tenemos de invitado especial a una leyenda viviente de la armónica y uno de mis grandes ídolos musicales. Me refiero a don Charlie Musselwhite. Charles Douglas Musselwhite nació en 1944 en la ciudad de Kosciuszko, estado de Mississippi, y creció en la ciudad de Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis es una de las grandes ciudades musicales de Estados Unidos y es un centro neurálgico en el que se han desarrollado estilos como el blues, el country, el rock and roll, el soul y más recientemente la música hip hop. En su adultez temprana, Charlie Musselwhite migró a Chicago y al poco andar se convirtió en uno de los primeros músicos blancos en ser aceptado en la escena del blues. Su cercanía con Big Walter Horton, Muddy Waters y John Lee Hooker le permitieron entrar en este nicho y eventualmente iniciar una carrera musical en solitario. Su álbum debut, Stand Back, de 1966, fue un éxito instantáneo y catapultó una carrera que se ha extendido por 7 décadas, con decenas de discos en solitario y una prolífica carrera como músico de sesión, que lo ha llevado a colaborar con artistas como Cyndi Lauper, In Excess, Enrique Bunbury, Ben Harper y Tom Waits, entre muchísimos otros. Su larga y próspera carrera ha sido reconocida con 6 nominaciones a los premios Grammy, 14 Blues Music Awards y su introducción al Salón de la Fama del Blues en 2010. Su persona inspiró el personaje de Elwood de The Blues Brothers, interpretado por Dan Aykroyd. Musselwhite hoy tiene 81 años y hace tan solo unas semanas lanzó su más reciente álbum Lookout Highway. Bueno, aquí estamos en videollamada con Don Charlie. Él se encuentra en la ciudad de Clarksdale, en Mississippi. Señor Musselwhite, muchas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. ¿Cómo está usted el día de hoy?
Very well. Nice to see you and hear your voice.
Para comenzar, ¿cómo describiría su estilo para alguien que nunca lo ha escuchado?
Well, I hope it sounds like blues. uh, and people tell me I have my own style. Um, and they recognize me right away. So I guess, well, I always thought you were supposed to play your own blues. You know, you learn from other people, but then you go ahead and play what you feel. So that's what I try to do. I try to play from my heart, not from my head.
Cuando hablamos de usted solemos hablar de Charlie Musselwhite, el armonicista, pero usted también toca la guitarra y canta. ¿Qué viene primero al momento de escribir una canción?
Uh, There's no one way. I mean, it just happens all kind of different ways. Sometimes I'm playing guitar and I just think of something, and or I'm playing harmonica and something just comes to me. I don't have like a uh, a plan that I follow when I write a song. Sometimes they just seem to show up on their own, or sometimes if I have an idea and I have a stack of pieces of paper with ideas written on them, and I'll get them out and look at them, and some of them seem to go with the idea that I'm working on, and it just takes form.
Usted es conocido por tocar en diferentes posiciones. De hecho, hay un video bien interesante de usted conversando con David Barrett en el que habla sobre cómo llegó a estas diferentes posiciones y este disco nuevo no es la excepción. En la canción Baby Won't You Please Help Me, usted utiliza una armónica en si bemol para tocar en re menor. ¿De dónde viene este interés por las posiciones extrañas? ¿Y qué le hace elegir una u otra para una determinada canción?
Well, first of all, I learned about fourth position from Walter Horton. He told me about it. And then I learned about fifth from Little Walter. So it's interesting. Those guys knew all about that stuff. And every position is like a mode. And each mode seems to have a different flavor. And some, like first position seems to go with, say, like a Latin rhythm, like on a tune I wrote, like a good blues tonight, where a fourth position wouldn't sound as good on a rumba kind of beat. I mean, you can always do that, but it just seems like the mode fits certain feelings better than others do. You know, like first position has a feeling that third position doesn't have. So depending on the mood of the song, the position can match the mood more or less. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Now explain it to me. Well, it's interesting. There's not much recorded, but I still remember clearly the night I was watching. I call him Shaky Horton, Shaky Walter Horton. He had two harmonicas back to back, and I knew that the song was in A, and he was playing a D harmonica in second position. But then he turned the two harmonicas over and started playing something I couldn't recognize the position he was playing. It was all unfamiliar to me. And when he got through, I said, Walter, Shaky, let me see that harmonica. And he showed me he was playing in the key of A on a C harmonica. And that's why I didn't recognize the patterns he was playing, because I'd never heard of fourth position. I didn't even know it existed until that minute. And it really opened my eyes, because that's when I got the idea that any octave you can find on the harmonica, there's got to be a pattern to go back and forth between those two notes so that you're playing in that key. So that really opened my eyes to how the harmonica can be used. And even if you don't use those positions, just knowing about those patterns helps you in any other position you're playing in. For instance, if you're following the 1-4-5 chord change, you can do that on the harmonica. You can play first position if you're in second position, you start off in second. For the 4 chord, you go to first position, and for the 5 chord, you go to third position. Some people just play second position all the way through. Yeah. And there's other ways to think about improvisation too. All kind of ways to approach improvisation.
Es sabido que usted tuvo una relación muy cercana con varios de los grandes próceres de la armónica clásica del Chicago Blues, como B. Walter Horton o Little Walter. Pero también algo que me parece muy interesante es que se le ve que tiene mucha cercanía con armonicistas del tiempo presente. Pienso, por ejemplo, en Marcos Cole, que habla de usted con mucho cariño, y de hecho tengo entendido que incluso hicieron una colaboración. De los armonicistas de hoy en día, ¿quiénes son sus favoritos?
Well, I gotta say, Marcos is way up there with harmonica players that I enjoy listening to. And I love his whole approach, his tone and phrasing. And I think we think alike in a lot of ways. A lot of harmonica players I hear, they play well. I mean, they have a good technique, but you can tell that everything they're playing is just one memorized lick after another. They're not really improvising. They're just playing stuff they memorized. And if that's what you want to do, that's okay, but that's not my idea of how it should be. I mean, anybody can squeeze a penny out of this business. I applaud them. But my idea is more into improvisation and playing from the heart instead of from the head. There's a lot of young guys coming up, like Rel Davenport. I really enjoy his playing. Even old Deke Harp here in Clarksdale, he's got a great tone. And I always say that everybody has something to offer, something that's unique to them. And so I don't dismiss anybody. There's some I enjoy listening to more than others. Like Marcos is always, his playing sounds fresh and inventive to me. So I'd put him way at the top. There's just so many. I hate to start naming people, because then I'll realize later, I forgot so-and-so, But there's just so many really great players. Rick Esterin's a great player. Kim Wilson's a great player. it just goes on and on. I'm just glad there's so many. When I first started playing, there wasn't that many harmonica players. Now they're all over the place. And when I first started playing, uh, there was hardly any girls that played harmonica. Now there's girls playing harmonica, and they're really good too.
Como artista, ¿qué diferencia al Charlie Musselwhite de Lookout Highway 2025 del Charlie Musselwhite de Stand Back 1966 o de cualquier otro de sus álbumes más bien tempranos?
Well, I like to think that I've been making some progress. It's like that old story about, I think, uh, Pablo Casals or somebody asked him why he was at the age of 92 or something still were practicing. And he said, I think I'm making progress. Well, for me, there's no end to it, and there's always more to learn, and I'm still learning. And that keeps it exciting and fresh for me, and I hope for the listener too. So I think basically I'm just the same guy. I'm taking the same approach, but I'd like to think I've gotten better. What do you
Yes,
think?
yes, I think you have. And that's actually one thing that I do like a lot about your career is that since it's been very long, we can see your evolution. We have seen you evolve over the years and you can track your progress over your albums.
Yeah, I notice some people they learn a certain amount and then they just level off. They don't keep going. I mean, they sound great, but they could keep learning. I was just came across a photo today of an old friend of mine, John Rencher, One Arm John. We used to play in the Maxwell Street together and in clubs in Chicago. And his plan is fairly simple. And he's one of those guys that just sort of leveled off. He never kept learning more. But man, always sounds great to me. I mean, uh, backing up Nighthawk or doing his own recordings, he just is always just a very satisfying to hear. Even though there's nothing real complicated about it, it doesn't have to be complicated. It's about getting the feeling across. That's for me. That's what blues is all about: the feeling. And a guy like John Rencher really does it for me. So does the old guys like Jimmy Reed. He could just play a few notes; they were perfect. Or the first Sonny Boy, just perfect. His recordings I listen to today, and they sound just as good to me and exciting as the first time I heard them.
Su forma de tocar claramente está fundada en el blues, pero usted también a lo largo de su carrera ha mostrado un interés muy genuino en la música latinoamericana. Pienso en músicas brasileñas o cubanas que de repente aparecen en su discografía. ¿De dónde viene ese interés y cómo se aproxima a estas músicas desde la armónica?
Okay, well, when I was growing up in Memphis, and I was going around looking for old blues 78s. I'd find them in junk stores and old used furniture stores. They were only a nickel or a dime. People didn't want them back then. You know, they were getting rid of. They just thought it was junk. But if I found anything else that looked interesting, I'd buy that too. You know, because they were so cheap. I'd be interested in knowing what these other records sounded like. So I discovered music like Greek rimbetica and flamenco and Arabic music, and I noticed some music from seemed to have a feeling that reminded me of blues. Like flamenco really has a blues feeling. And then I got the idea that, well, you know, I bet in every corner of the world there's some guy playing some kind of instrument singing about my baby left me. Because it's a worldwide phenomena. And so every culture, I assume, has a music uh, that people sing about their life, about my baby left me, hard times or good times, you know. Like I say that blues music is your comforter when you're down and your buddy when you're up. And I think probably every culture has a music that serves those purposes too. So I became interested in and discovering this music, like forró in Brazil. Uh, a lot of people kind of look down on forró, like they look down on blues, or they used to. You know, used to people would say, "Oh no, I don't listen to blues." But you go to their house and look in the closet, and you see a stack of blues records. They get out. Blues is more acceptable today, but there was a time in the past when blues was really looked down on as just primitive or not good music, singing about bad stuff. Well, it's thinking about real life is what it's about.
And there was an element of racism to that, right?
Well, that was in some people's eyes. They would see it as black music, and they don't listen to black music, and you know, a lot of baloney like that.
Mm.
I call that baloney.
Un tópico que sentí que se repetía bastante en su álbum es el futuro. Storm Warning, Ready for Times to Get Better. Pareciera ser que está siempre como mirando hacia adelante. ¿Qué cree usted que el futuro le tiene a Charlie Musselwhite?
Well, I try to be optimistic, even though it's a kind of a nightmare right now what's going on politically. But I think more and more people are waking up to the reality, which is they've been conned. uh, and for my own personal uh, future, I feel like I'm healthy, I'm mentally alert, I'm enjoying what I do, and this current record is really getting a lot of good reviews. So I hope that'll uh, turn into getting some good gigs. Maybe I'll get to come tour where you live. That'd be great to come there.
That would be
Uh,
amazing.
I'd love that. Um, so I'm optimistic, and I try to keep telling myself that things are looking up, even though a lot of bad stuff is going on. Uh, I try to keep believing in that most people have a good nature and have a good heart and want the best for everybody else. But there's always some stinkers out there that are I don't know. To me, they're like zombies. They're not really thinking. They don't have hearts. They're just full of greed and hate and fear and all kind of negative stuff. Where man, life is short. We should be having a good time and being nice to each other and enjoying the world and trying to make it a better place for our children and grandchildren.
Todos sabemos que sacar un disco no es una tarea fácil y usted lo ha hecho un montón de veces a lo largo de su carrera. Y no solo eso, sino giras internacionales, colaboraciones. Uno podría perfectamente decir que usted lo ha hecho todo. Y sin embargo, no pareciera querer bajar la velocidad. ¿Qué es lo que lo mantiene motivado queriendo trabajar a este ritmo a estas alturas?
Well, the music to me is always exciting, and I never get bored with it. It really it feeds my heart and soul, and it's actually for me blues is like more than just another form of music. It's like a philosophy. It's like I said before, your buddy when you're up and your comforter when you're down. It's always there for you, and it'll help you get through life. Uh, in country music, a guy can sing about, my baby left me and I'm so sad, I'm gonna just jump off a bridge and kill myself. And blues, a guy would say, my baby left me, I'm gonna get me a new baby. Blues is about keeping on, no matter what life throws at you. It's a spirit of enduring and enjoying life and not giving up. Uh, so that carries me on. It's part of my philosophy. It's how I look at the world. Don't give up.
That's beautiful. Actually, there's something I've always admired about you, and it's your endurance. I mean, life has not been easy on you. We all know your story, and there's been some hard times. And despite everything, you're still here. You're still doing music, That's something that I really look up to.
Well, thank you. I wanted to mention you said about it's hard to make an album. My first album, Stand Back, we recorded that in under 3 hours. We just,
Really?
yeah. When we got to the studio, Sam Charters, who was producing it, said, if you go over 3 hours, we Vanguard will have to pay double scale, and we're not going to do that. So you have to finish. That was the union law, you know. So you have to finish in under 3 hours. So we just did one tune after another, just knocked it out in under 3 hours. These days, people take 30 hours to do one tune.
Y por último, una pregunta un poco más ñoña para finalizar. ¿Cuál es su tonalidad favorita de armónica y por qué?
Gosh, I don't know if I have one favorite. Uh, each one has is important, you know. A C harmonica is good because you can play in the key of A and E and C and G, and those are good keys to know. Um, like if you're going to just have one in your pocket, you have those options. Um, but I like the tones of all the different harps, you know, from a low F to a C harmonica. Each one, you can't do without them. You got to have them all.
Yeah, right.
And side L is the best harmonica available.
Now that you mentioned, that's something I forgot to ask you. What's your favorite harmonica model? What are you playing nowadays?
Well, the one I like the very best is the Seidel 1847 Lightning,
Right.
and it's kind of heavy, but man, it plays so well and stays in tune for so long, and it's so dependable.
Don Charlie Musselwhite, muchas gracias por su tiempo y por ser el músico increíble que es.
Thank you, my friend.
Take care.
Stay well.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.